Good afternoon everyone. In this lecture we are going to learn electric resistance welding and different types of electric resistance welding. See, this electric resistance welding is also a type of pressure welding. It is used for joining the pieces of sheet metal or the wires. It is usually adopted for the mass production, and in this case of the welding heat is obtained at the location of the desired weld by the electrical resistance through the metal pieces to a relative short duration and a very low voltage, that is 6 to 10 volts only, and high amperage, which is varying from 60 to 4000 amperes electric current. When the area to be welded is sufficiently heated, a pressure from 25 to 55 MPa is applied to the joining area by suitable electrodes until the weld gets solidified. Then these electric resistance welding, they are also having some of the advantages as compared to the other processes. The advantages of this process are: it is too much suitable for the mass production, it is economic in operation because nothing is consumed except the electrical power, and the welds are very quickly made, the skilled operators are not required, and it is possible to weld dissimilar metals also. For the electric resistance welding, there are also some disadvantages, like the equipments are having very high initial cost, and certain resistance welding processes, they are limited to the lap joints. Then different types of the electric resistance welding that we are going to see one by one. They are spot welding, seam welding, and projection welding. Let us start with the spot welding. The spot welding, it is used for welding lap joints, joining components made from plate materials which are having 0.025 mm to 1.25 mm in the thickness. The plate thickness is limited by the pressure and the current capacity of the available spot welding machine. The plates which are to be joined together, they are placed between the two electrode tips of copper or copper alloy, and a low voltage and high amperage current is passed between the electrodes, causing the metal temperature to be rise to the welding temperature, and the heat generated by the electric current, it is rapidly transferred from the outer faces of the plate to the electrode, which are water cooled, and the pressure is applied which squeezes the metal together and complete the welding process. The spot welding is generally used for the ferrous and the non-ferrous alloys, and it is widely used in the manufacturing, automobiles, refrigerators, and other metal stamping assemblies. The schematic diagram for this spot welding is also shown. Next type of the electric resistance welding is seam welding. When the spot welds on the two overlapping pieces of the metal, they are spaced, then the process is called as a roll spot welding. And if the spot welds are sufficiently made close so that they can overlap and make a leak-proof seam, that is nothing but a joint, then that process is called as a seam welding. So the typical application of the seam welding includes the sheet metal radiators and the drums, where both the longitudinal and the circumferential lap joints are used. The workpiece to be welded They are passed between the rotating disc-shaped electrodes of copper alloy, which are in the form of rollers. See, you can see in the diagram, they are shown as rollers. These electrodes are not separated after each individual weld as in the spot welding, but maintain a continuous pressure on the workpiece. The current passing from the roller to roller through the workpiece heats up the parts to be joined, and the pressure on the roller electrodes forms the weld. The cooling is accomplished by flooding the electrodes and metal pieces with the water. This process is best suitable for the metal thicknesses ranging from 0.025 mm to 3 mm. Next type of the electric resistance welding is the projection welding. This is similar to the spot welding, except that one of the metal piece to be welded has projections on its surface at the point where the welds are to be made, and these projections should be extended about 1 mm above the surface to be welded. These projections are readily made with the punch presses by embossing, and the contact between the two metal pieces to be joined is made at the projection. When the welding current passes through these projections, they are melted and flattened, allowing the two surfaces to come together. The melted projections become the welds. This process is used for crosswise welding and for the parts where ridges are produced by machining, and this is most suitable for the large quantity production. Some of the main advantage of this projection welding over the spot welding are: it is a quick process and number of welds can be made simultaneously. The welds may be more closely spaced than it is possible with the spot welding. There is no thickness limitation, and the life of the electrodes used in such longer as compared with the life of the spot welding electrodes. These nut bolts can also be welded to the sheet and the plate by this process. Also, the metal baskets, then overgrills and shopping carts can be made by such kind of projection welding, which is shown here with the diagrams. Like electrodes are there, then bolts are joined. So this is all about the electric resistance welding and their types: spot welding, seam welding, and the projection welding. Thank you.